Hello and thank you for joining us. Today we're going to talk about the juror's point of view. And after all, the juror's point of view is very important. They'll be deciding your case. You know, when we grew up in school, we had this idea of Lady Justice and the scales of justice. And we tend to think of a juror who's going to see both sides of a case and carefully weigh this side versus this side. That's not really what happens. What happens is the juror sees your case not from your point of view, but from the juror's own point of view and the juror's own life experiences. Some people have such tremendous life experience in an area that is important to your case that they're not appropriate to serve as a juror on your case. We try to get those people off during voir dire, which is a fancy French word or Latin word for jury selection. It's important to know that the jury and the jurors are not going to hear the whole story. They're only going to hear part of the story. Let me give you some examples. The juror is not going to hear any evidence of insurance. Insurance is not relevant, so the courts say, to your case. The case is going to be set up you against this other person, an individual versus an individual. Insurance is not going to be mentioned most of the time in personal injury cases. The other thing that's important to anticipate is that sometimes the defense attorney admits negligence at the very last moment. This makes it very difficult for you to tell your whole story in terms of what happened to you and the defendant's bad acts. Because once they admit negligence, negligence is no longer relevant. The story only becomes about your damages. And when you talk only about your damages, there's a risk that the jury might perceive you as overreaching. Now, we have strategies to deal with all these challenges in your case, and I'm not going to mention them now because my opposing counsel in many of my cases are watching this. But if you have some concerns about your case, give me a call. We can sort it out together in a more private setting. Thank you for listening.